So this little video is just really to help with anybody struggling with lower back issues, sciatic pain and that sort of thing. So just put together some stretches that will help you with any stiffness or pain in the lower back, especially if it's going down your legs, which is probably where it's sciatic pain. And what's causing it really is the restriction in the sacroiliac joint, which is sort of at the in your pelvis. And the piriformis muscle, which is a small muscle in the sort of buttock, deep within the buttock, can actually get a bit tight. So we're just going to work on loosening those up. So I'm going to pop you on the floor. We're going to start with a really simple one. So generally, when you wake up in the morning and you're in bed, this is a really good thing to do. It's just literally loosening up the lower back. So bringing those knees into the chest. Pull them in and actually give them a real squeeze. Just coming straight up into your chest to start with. Loosening up that lower back. Try and keep the back as flat as possible. Just helps to loosen things up a bit. And it's probably a good idea as well to just do a little bit of a hamstring stretch, but keeping the knees slightly bent. So it's the same sort of thing. Lovely. And then gradually, if you can, just get that leg a little bit straighter, so we get a bit more of a hamstring stretch down through the back of the knee. And let's just finish off with this one. Okay, then just put the arms outside, gently rocking the legs side to side. So I'll loosen up through the hips. Nice and gently. And then what you can do with this one is if you just cross the leg over and let the leg pull it across, hold the stretch for a bit longer, anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. And just hold that. Breathe. And then come back, cross it over the other side. And then same thing again, hold it for about 10 seconds. And I would do that a couple more times. I'm not going to hold it for 10 seconds each time because it's going to take a long time. Pull it across and then swap. And then the other one. Okay, classic piriformis stretch. Reach one hand through the legs, the other hand behind the thigh. And pull that in. And you'll feel it down here, not on this leg, it'll be on the other leg for this one. Pull that in. And again, hold it, try not to bounce it, hold it. And then just as you feel it ease off, just gradually increase that stretch. You want to make it a little bit deeper, you can hold on to the shin. Just have a bit more power to pull it in. Hold it in. And then just swap it over the other way. Pulling it in. But you can also do this, I'll show you in a second, we can do this in a sitting position as well. And a standing position. It's the same movement, it's just hooking your leg up. And just, you can have a bit of a play around about where your lower back is sitting. You might find you get more of a stretch if you just lift over a bit. That's Good. And then just rock it out. Okay, wide legs. So legs are apart on the side of the mat, and just bringing those legs in. This is working all of the hip area, but obviously lower back, sciatic, femoral nerve coming down the leg. So it's good to work the hips, lift them off a little bit. So gently in, and then you can have both legs wide and rock them to the side. And it's a good idea to bring those legs in, and let the legs just rock apart, just to open up through the groin, inner thigh. Just hold that. Nice deep stretch, and then again, just bring it in, loosen off that lower back, jog, rock side to side, not jog, rock. Okay, so if your back is sore, you don't want to try and sit straight up, so you can rock yourself, put your feet down, rock yourself over, come up into sitting position. It's quite useful to sit with your back up against a wall because it helps you to keep your back up. So if you have got a wall you can sit up against, that's great. If not, just bring this knee into the chest and pull it into the chest, sitting up really tall. And then we're going to just make this a little bit deeper by taking the foot over. It doesn't matter if it's lower down, but if you can get it up as high as you can, and then you drop the other arm around and then just gently rotate, trying to keep the back up and straight. I'm going to get right down under here into the buttock area. Really nice. Breathe. That's it. I'm going to repeat it on the other side. So pull that in, sitting up nice and tall, pulling that knee into the chest. Take the foot over, and it's the opposite arm that wraps around, and you reverse twist round over the other side. Pull that knee in and towards your chest. And you'll feel that through. Breathe. So it's good to hold the stretches for a bit longer than you think, to really let the muscles pull out and relax. Even if it feels a little bit painful, it's good just to pull them in. And then, so we can do this piriformis stretch as well. So you could do this sitting on a chair rather than sitting on the floor. So if you're sitting on a chair, you obviously can have your back supported, but just bring the knee across and gentle pressure. Gentle pressure down on the thigh. We're not putting a lot of pressure on, just gentle amount of pressure. Push. And then the other side. Gentle pressure down on the knee, so not lots of pressure. Hopefully you can see. Sitting up nice and tall. Just make sure you are breathing, because you want the oxygen to come into the muscles. Okay, and then just gently put your hand behind you. So I'm going to do wide legs again. Just rock those knees in. You'll feel this definitely in the hip. Just gently across. You relax through the shoulders, and then you can just gently rock the knees from side to side. Make sure you're supporting yourself through your arm. Okay, we're going to go down into lying position again, but this time when you bring your knee in, I want you to bring it in and across towards your other shoulder. So you're bringing it in and across. Just be careful not to roll over, not rolling over. You've got to try and keep that back as straight as you can. Pull that knee in and across. It might feel a bit uncomfortable. You can have a little bit of a massage the area that's sore, right into that hip area, glutes. And take that one down. Breaking the fan. And then the other side. So in and across. There's a nice deep breath to get that all straight into the muscle. Okay, so we're going to move over onto all fours. So, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. If your knees are uncomfortable, you can use cushions to kneel on. So we're just going to gently rock side to side. And sometimes it's quite good to just feel what your body wants to do. So rock it side to side. Engage the tummy muscles and the pelvic floor. So think about zipping up the pelvic floor towards the belly button, pulling the belly button up towards the side. So imagine that somebody's almost got a plug and the chain of the plug pulls through, but pulling that belly button up towards the spine. You've got a plank of wood underneath here and it's pulling you up. So engage through the core. And then we're just going to come into a cat stretch now. Just be a bit gentle with this when you go reverse. So we're just going to lift up, look between your legs, slowly come back to flat and then drop. Now this is the one you've got to be careful with. When you drop it back down again, sometimes that can catch the nerve and be a bit uncomfortable, but reverse, lift up through the head, keeping that pelvic floor engaged, and then reverse to flat back, and then lifting up. You can almost lean back a little bit as well. You've got that stretch all the way down through here. Flat back, and then just drop it down. Be careful when you drop it down. So really gently with these. And then when you come back to that flat back position, just coming down into that child pose. The bottom going down towards your knees, arms out in front. If it's too much for the arms straight, just drop them down. And then you can lift your hands up, come up onto your head. And then back. Up to your head. And then back. You can gently walk to the side. And again, just listen to your body. So if you think, oh, no, that's too much, either do it less, to a lesser degree, so you're not walking quite so far around. So maybe you're just keeping your arm in, or don't do it. Okay, let's do the wider child pose. So sitting back down again, support yourselves with your hands and then come down on the forearms. Just getting a stretch through that groin area. And if you want to, take some down, stretch out a little bit more. calming up. Put your toes under. And then finishing off, legs narrow, arms in. A little bit of a child pose, and then a bit more of a hamstring stretch. Bring this knee in, but not quite so close, lean forward. And then outside. Lean it forward, so you're resting your chest on your knee. And then we're just going to come up and go stand up, do a hamstring stretch that goes in front. Gently lean forward, so support your weight on your standing leg, the opposite standing leg. So a little bit of a hamstring stretch, and you can play around with your foot coming up and coming down. Gently stand up, and then other side. Lift up, and down. And then if you want to, you can lean against the wall or sit on a chair. And again, it's the same one again. Piriformis stretch. So if you're sitting in a chair, it's exactly the same position, but obviously your bottom's on the chair, not against the wall. If your back's really hurting, I'd do it sitting on a chair. Swap it over. And then just get some movement through that lower back. So little circles. And the other way. And then that little tailbone tip. So from the side, it's that tipping the pelvis forward and back. So you can put your hands actually on the top of the pelvis to help support that movement, but you must engage through the core. So don't just let this all flop about. You really need to think about the tummy muscles engaging. And hopefully that will just make your lower back feel a little bit more